Do you feel like your goals are taking forever or you might not reach them? I'm going to share some insights that came through from a client session, and she gave me permission to share in case it supports you on your journey. So you're going to want to save this video. And this is going to be an activation for you, but also for your inner children. When I went to her energy field, I saw the 3 blind mice from the nursery rhyme, just 3 little mice with glasses on. And I said, do you want us to follow you? And they said, yes. And my client said, well, how are we going to do that if they can't see? I said, that's a good question. And the mice said, seeing is not the only way to see. So they were talking about using our other senses. As we're walking together, we see a cobblestone cottage, again, like you would see from a nursery rhyme. And I said, okay, it seems as though we're about to meet someone. Walk in the cottage, and there's a dining room table that's right next to the kitchen, kind of in this big open space. So we sit down and we look over, and there's a giant chicken that is washing the dishes, and she has a cooking apron on. And she said, hello, my darlings, would you like a cup of tea? We said, yes, that would be lovely. And so she brings it over to us. She's looking at my client and doing kind of an energetic scan, and said she needs some elderberries for the upcoming season. So talking about heading into winter, she was perceiving that she was going to be having some colds, almost like flu, and she was giving her some preventative care. So that might be a message for you as well. And my client said, oh, you can get that in tea form, right? I said, yeah, kind of like the chicken gave us, but you can get vitamins and supplements. But elderberry has been used through multitudes of cultures and throughout history to help strengthen your immune system. And my client asked the chicken, which is so funny to say, but asked the chicken, do you see anything else while you're doing an energetic scan? And what was really wild was, I'm a channeler, and apparently so was the chicken, is I was looking through the chicken's eyes while she was doing the energetic scan. And she said, I see a dog playing with a ball. And so imagine a red ball, and a dog is kind of like scooting around with its nose. So dogs, well, one of the things that dogs represent is unconditional love. And the ball represents moving towards a goal. But in this instance, it's a goal that we have not quite reached. And that's the message from your higher self. Now, that goal can be a multitude of things, but I'm going to tell you what it was for my client in case it's one that you're currently working on too, of consistently being in 5D. She said that she keeps on feeling like she slips out of it in the 3D and the 4D and the 5D, and it's like she cannot get like an anchor in 5D. She's like, when am I ever going to be able to do this? Will I ever be able to do it? What's wrong with me that I'm not able to stay there at all times? I've experienced it. I know what it's like. Like, why can't I just be in it permanently? The chicken said, you're playing with the ball or the goal, and whatever that might be for you, but think that is all it will ever be. Like something that you are always trying to achieve, but is far out of reach. Like, we're not being super confident that we will get there no matter what. It's self-doubt, or sometimes having to do with your self-worth or what you think that you're capable of. She said, instead of seeing it as something outside of you, the goal, we need to see it as something that is within us, a part of us. Who is the dog without his ball? What she means by that with the symbolism is when we think about a dog, we often think about playing fetch. They are interlinked with one another. There's an association. That's how she's saying that we can look at self with our goal. Like, it's not an external thing. It's us remembering that about ourselves. You would not have had that desire if your future self didn't already have it. The only thing that keeps us separate from it is us thinking that we are separate from it. My client asked, well, how do I recognize that within myself? Because it's easy to say that, right? Like when we're in a session like this with one another, but how do I really integrate that as I'm moving through life? And the chicken said, how would you even have the thought of the goal if it wasn't already a part of you? My client went over to go pet the dog, all up in his hair, and said, thank you. And I said, what's really funny is you are the dog. You are thanking yourself for receiving this message today. So what the chicken meant was everybody has different goals that they are working on achieving. That's why we're all very unique individuals. Not everybody has the same downloads and insights and visions. The reason that you have that in the first place is because it's a part of your genetic makeup. Like, you have everything within you to make this happen, but it's not even a matter of making it happen. It's remembering the timeline where you were already experiencing it and just taking the steps in the 3D in linear time in order to get back there. What keeps us separate from it is saying, like, oh, I may never be able to get there, or I don't know how to get there, or what if I don't have the tools and the, techniques that I need. And the chicken, your higher self is saying that is what is making it difficult. If you say, hey, I'm going to get there either way, it doesn't matter what route I take or what decision or what pivot, like, it's already happened. I'm just moving back to that within myself. I would love to hear in the comments if this message resonated with you, what your biggest takeaway is, and I'm wishing you an absolutely magical day.